you, Diane.
And we're thinking of organizing a national grape picking opportunity so we can all be cleared out.
Just a moment. What are you saying?
Waiting. It's not.
No, we're live. Um, I'd say give it a moment because there's a latency between the live stream and the actual. There you go.
And we are on screen
Yeah.
and live talking about picking grapes.
Picking grapes.
And
Picking grapes. So muscadines changed my life. They changed my life, and so uh, it's really good for the fast as well. Drinking grape juice. I got more muscadines tucked away in the refrigerator.
I'm glad to hear that.
I know you are. I know you're like, you got muscadines, T?
I know.
You got muscadines?
In a world where there may be no money, there will still be grapes.
There will be grapes. Muscadines. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome everyone. We got a couple of people rolling into the chat. And look at your Veritas and look at Studio One, Diane of the Sun. Diane just had Divination Workshop yesterday, card pools. One of them was, I think, the first card. Let me see. I actually got notes because I take notes every time I'm in class because it's very relevant. Although the card pools are for the group, you're going to gain something out of there.
Yes.
You're definitely going to see something pertaining to your experience. And there's always an interconnectivity when we're all discussing. So, card in the past was protection. You protect yourself by knowing who you are.
Yes.
Actually, the question that was asked was, what are we here to do? Correct? Yeah. What are we here to do? And finding the truth about that. And the theme was protection. Protect yourself by knowing who you are. And the present was motivation. The problem is us and the solution is us. Be brave to change who you are. And then truth for the future card. To know where you want to be, you need to know the truth of who you are now. And all of that definitely supports that question of
Yeah.
what am I supposed to be doing? And what I gathered from that, just a brief synopsis, was we're here. Oh, greetings in the cash, people. We see a couple of more people. Hold on a second. I want to double check if you all could let us know about the audio. Someone's saying audio interference, and then we're getting thumbs up that the audio is good, so we're gonna encourage. I think Julian's having some hiccups with the audio. But this, as I was saying, the sum total synopsis is that we're all being called to understand who we are at this time,
Absolutely.
to step
Absolutely.
into it, and the things that we're seeing in terms of deconstruction on the planet, they do not have to be a problem to us if we understand who we are within the equation. And then that present card, the problem is us and the solution is us. Be brave. It requires bravery to see the dark aspects of ourselves that are not allowing us to embody the truth of who we are.
I think that's very interesting because many of the dark aspects of ourselves are the currently uh, celebrated things that humanity likes and wants to do.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
So we don't see them as dark. We
Nah.
see them as, oh, it's just a holiday. It's only, it's only a little alcohol. It's just for my headaches. It's
Yeah,
like,
my glaucoma helps me sleep at night.
and because it's so accepted in our lexicon, we don't realize that any addiction is an addiction. We don't realize that any addiction stills the will that we came here to exercise.
Yeah, and that will to become greater, to
That
be
will,
the
yes.
truth of who you are, absconded with through the addiction.
Absolutely, and so it's kind of an interesting dynamic. To know who you are means that you may have to confront some of the things about your neediness, or confront your complaining, or confront your thinking it's somebody else's fault, or that you don't have any responsibility in your own circumstance. Like, it's the nebulous out there. It's what's out there that's so nebulous. That's what's getting me, and that's true. It is what's out there, but there is this idea of when we call for correction and we call for truth, we have the opportunity to see within us where there's an opening, where we can kick that door open for us to grow into who we were meant to be.
Most certainly.
And it's always right in front of us. How many times have people thought, all my life I've just wanted to be an artist, and then they have a very narrow view of what artist means. Without,
Yeah.
they may think that that means drawing on paper, or buildings or painting, when artist may be that you are the creative force that inspires others through everything you touch. And they're like, well, who am I? I'm like, that's who you are. You're the creative force that brings everything to life and vitality and makes us all live a richer, more beautiful life. And they're like, yeah, but who am I?
So last night before I went to bed, I was doing some ancestry clearing. I actually did it. I went in, and they were sharing with me, you got to think bigger. And I'm like, help me think bigger. Help me expand my consciousness, my awareness of who and what I am. And I see that that's part of, or one, at least a solution.
Right.
I
I agree.
find that we think so little of ourselves, and our world is so small and tiny, and life requires us to open up a little more, especially if you're saying you're one with all that is, and you're an emissary. It's like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Not like this. It look like this.
And it's really hard to do that while you're suffering. If
True.
life
Yeah.
is all suffering, suffering is a small container for a galactic, universal, multidimensional being.
You're giving us perspective, giving us depth, context of
Yeah.
where we
But
are in the
for you to
equation.
fit into that suffering little bottle,
Yeah.
like the genie in the
Yeah,
bottle.
that stuff is. Like.
I got to remember to suffer. Let me remember I've got to suffer. Life is suffering. That then that then excludes all of the options for seeing yourself greater, bigger, better, wiser, stronger, part of the cosmic unfoldment that yes, we are on earth, but earth is in the cosmos, in the universe. We're in the universe.
Have you ever seen one of those videos when they show the perspective of the planet and they zoom all
Oh
the way
yeah.
out? Like, I feel like I need to watch that after this video, after we do this podcast, or
Yeah.
it might be helpful for the people on the line.
Even the concept of neutrinos, that neutrinos are instantaneous communication from Earth to the galactic, universal, multidimensional aspects. We know about neutrinos, but we don't realize we are neutrinos. We don't realize that it is our thought that does move into the other aspects of creation. And when it's consistent, when it's informed, when it's determined, it does affect all things, not just here on Earth. In fact, the ones who are less encumbered are affected quicker, and we know that because our allies come to us that way, saying, we heard your call, but nobody here heard it.
Yeah, because we deaf, dumb, and blind over here. We stuffed up, addicted, and full of potatoes and bread and Wonder
White
Bread.
sugar.
Yeah, clogging up the signal,
Yes,
distorting the
and
signal.
we're, those of us who haven't had their DNA connected, there is that.
Yeah. So I want to chime back in with the audience. Inla Veritas, everybody. Welcome to Of the Sun Live, and we're here with LaOta of the Sun, the luminary. Oh, see her glowing, luminary. I saw you yesterday from the airport. I was like, damn, you glowing? I see you glow. So today we're going to be talking about telepathic communication with other life forms. And this will be interesting. This is also in tandem with our upcoming classes, DNA activation and one mind reconnection, and how they go hand in hand in terms of in engaging with that aspect of the truth of who we are. So we were starting our conversation about Call for the Truth Divination card workshop with Diane in Luca Studio. And the question was, who are you? Like, understanding who we are through the cards. And the truth is, we are telepathic. And we got to stop playing games with ourselves. Other people know what we're thinking, whether they say it or not. We're picking up on thoughts. Let's lean into that. So we're going to discuss that. But before we do, I want to chime in and into the comments. We got a couple of people here. The group keeps growing. Cecilia in Lakesh Veritas, Julianne in Lakesh, Stephanie in Lakesh Veritas, Big Love. There's a song named after that. Terry, greetings, Madam Noir in Lakesh Veritas, Other Sun Fam. Essential Tribe in Lakesh. She says, so glad to be here. Julianne, it looks like something about the audio. I hope you got that audio going. Stacy's here in Lakesh. Madame Noir says, so true. This year has been huge for me. when it comes to being real, hold on, this is a new technique. Uh, I can put the comment on the screen. She
Oh,
says,
good.
"So true. This year has been huge for me when it comes to being real about my past addictions." I know that's right.
That's
You
right.
got to keep it real. And then we got Russ in the kitchen, Veritas from Piedmont ER.
Yeah,
We are the Victoria. He's like, I'm in the hospital, but
no,
I'm on.
I sent him this morning, and I sent him the remedy as well.
Wonderful. We got Paige in the house. Paige Furto, a long time no here. In the kitchen, Veritas Page. And then Julianne says the audio is better, so that's wonderful to hear. So again, welcome everyone. And as I was mentioning, upcoming classes next week, Tuesday, Law to the Sun, One Mind Reconnection. I'll be doing DNA activation on Wednesday. This is a 3-day class. Each class is held 1 day a week for an hour and a half. You can find these classes on the homepage of the Of the Sun website. Hold on, watch this. I'm doing a couple of new things. Wait, wait, wait. Watch this. Boom. Of the Sun website. You can see the website on the screen. I'm gonna be touching a lot of things and probably doing round of applause and fair audios if the spirit compels me to do so. But again, today we are talking about telepathic communication. So, where did you want to start with this, LaOta, with telepathic communication?
I'd actually like to kind of give a preview. It is not a secret that people can speak to other aspects of nature, although it's not accepted by scientists
Forget them.
or religions.
Forget them too. Wait, they be talking to burning bushes. I don't know what's wrong with them. It's compartmentalized. Please continue.
So, so this is really a preview. What we will be doing is um, first, in the first class, we will be talking about the belief system because it must be that you believe what is possible so that it may be a possibility for you.
Mm,
So that is how we have to start every class, whether it's calibration, you have to believe that you can be in touch with your own body, which
yes.
many people don't think that that's a possibility. And it seems foreign to us who work with our bodies, you know. But our bodies are just an extension of planet Earth, of the mother. Our bodies are made from everything that's in Mother Earth. We are just an extension. So, of course, we can speak to that can talk to the minerals in the earth or the things that the Mother Earth produces and every other aspect. And it is our domain, and that is part of our lesson on earth is understanding the lack of separation instead of the intensity of separation that we all live in. And so we'll be talking about that and how it is the most natural thing in the world that we speak not only to ourselves and our vehicles and our aspects. I think I was talking to my brain the other day. I was asking my neurological system.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I was asking my neurological system to calm down because we like to be chill. And I was in a moment where I was not chill. And I was like, body, would you talk to the upper levels? You know, you go to the penthouse. Could you talk to the penthouse and calm me back down to my normal state of chill? In 2 minutes, I was as I am now. Chill.
Chill, yeah.
And you have to be there, by the way, to do any of the work. You have to get to.
To chill.
You have to get to chill.
Can't be yeah, zenned out in the
Right.
stillness.
So the idea of telepathy, which is what you're saying, this concept, of course, it's our birthright. Not only is it our birthright, but it's so much more than we think it is. Telepathy is not limited by us knowing each other, being in the same state, being on the same continent, being on the planet. It is not limited by any of that. And those of us in the sun already know that because we experience it all the time, but we may not have thought about it in the way I'm saying it. Those of you who have taken any of the classes already know that it's not, that what I can know is not limited to where my body is or what time of day it is or time and space at all. I am not limited by time and space. Those are constructs that serve us but they are not, they don't interfere with the divine ability to be able to know that which one may know.
Early on, when I began working with you and doing quantum light property clearings, there I engaged with many people who were kind of flabbergasted by the concept of long distance clearing in different states because many of the people who engaged with practitioners, they were so accustomed to hands-on body work, like energy work, but you gotta be in person, which is still weird because it's like, what's the difference between a foot away, I'm not touching you, but versus being in the state, another state. And it was that language that really helped me in going deeper into that understanding. And I would share that with clients when they would ask, so you don't have to come to my house to clear the property? I was like, no, I don't have to buy a plane ticket and go there with a broom and a dustpan energetically. But and I would say to them, we're not, I would say we, as in me, the company, but also them. I said, we are not limited by time and space. And that would have them like, ooh, kind of step back. But it's so in our faces, but at the same time, like you said, our belief system doesn't match. It's like a compartmentalization.
Yes.
We'll have those, whoa, what a coincidence. You said the thing that I was thinking. Or I was thinking about this person, then they called. And it's like, it happens so much, but the belief systems, and also in my mind, programming, like
Yes.
limited programming from different influences that have created levels of limitation that overrides all the magic that we see.
There's also this idea that even when they do believe, they believe only Baba Jugu or somebody from India could do it. like, like, you're not Indian, so you can't do that. Or
You're not wearing a turban. Where's your turban?
Right.
You're not wearing all white. Why aren't you barefoot? Where's your crystals and your mala beads?
Yeah. So there's that. It's like, well, you're not really fitting you didn't pick up your uniform on the way in.
It's that spiritual cosplay, spiritual drag. Spiritual drag.
That's like Costco. The Costco.
Oh, that spirit Halloween, go get your costume.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the package you pick up at Costco with a discount.
Yeah.
For your spiritual outfit.
Yeah.
So
That's a whole nother combo too.
However, many people I have talked to for various different types of services have said to me, they'll say, well, okay, well, what state are you in? And I'm like ready to fly to where you are. I'm like, oh no, I don't see people in person. And so it's too ineffective, too inefficient. It would limit how many people I could see a day if everybody had to fly in and stand in front of me. That's archaic.
That's making me think about earlier experiences I had when this was before I began working with Of a Son, like employed with the company. I was a property clearer, and I remember I was doing charity work and trying to get out there and talking to people like, yeah, I got a property, I clear properties, and if you know somebody who needs it, let me know. And I remember there was this family. They wanted me to clear their property, but they wanted me to come out. And why the hell I drove out to their house? I drove to their house. But
against
yes,
what we do.
Yes. Against
in opposition to.
Yeah. I was a noob. I had them that belief system, that BS going on in those programs, and but I also knew that something it was just off about going there in person, and once I got there, I think something happened where I just said, look, I won't be doing it here. I came to look at it, but what I do don't require me to be here. And it was kind of off-putting to them because I guess they wanted me to walk around and just touch the air and the walls and shaka 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 chicken bones, right? And because they're expecting theatrics, and that's another thing. What I meant about programs and belief systems are programming about psychism and telepathy is super distorted.
Yes.
So it escapes us in terms of the truth of the reality in our everyday experience. But long story short, I don't do that no more.
Several years ago, we were being filmed of what was a reality show called us.
Yeah.
Because they were having problems on the set, and it was in a mansion, in Georgia, and they invited us to, well, one, they hired us to clear all the camera people, all the script writers, all of that, and also clear the space. And we told them, all right, we'll take care of it. But then they invited us to be filmed in the reality
Yeah.
show. So we went because of that.
That was cool.
Yeah, to be filmed. But when we got there, the directors were saying, well, what are you all going to do? I said, well, we're not going to do anything you can see, but we're doing what we need to do. And she said, well, could you do like this?
Yeah, she wanted
Could you could you do that for the cameras? Like you're feeling things. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And now I'm not feeling things because I won't come into a house that's got stuff I need to feel. So you don't know how this works. I don't go into houses that have I have already cleared my path before I walk into a
Their
house,
faces
before I
were-
sit into a chair, before I eat food. It is already cleared. The molecules have been moved. I'm not coming in and moving entities out of the way
Real
because
time.
that would not be smart and would not support my skill set.
So the director's face was like, "You cleared it already?" Matter of fact, we had the PDF reports printed out. It was nice too. We had the little binder and everything. It was like, "We're gonna make this real professional." And bring it. It's like, "Yeah, we cleared it. Here you go." Everything's. And they're like, "What?"
And they were like, well, you got some smoke? I'm like, yeah, I got some. They
Yeah.
said, well, would you do that?
That's the best they had. She walked around with the sacred wood, passing it through, which is energetically supportive of sustaining the environment.
But the reason I bring it up is because even when we were being filmed and we were in the being filmed for the reality show, the preconceived idea of what everyone thinks was pervasive.
Yeah.
And it has happened many times where people assume because they see shamans and they see other people do praying on a mound or standing under a tree or throwing tobacco or all of these things, none of which I'm against, but they're not what I do. Those are things I learned first, and then many years passed, and many other learnings came in. So I'm in respect of it, but that's not who we are, and that's not what we're doing. And it's very interesting because that is the cinematic
Yeah.
understanding, which is not necessarily the reality, but of course, that is how it could be shown. That is one way in which it can be shown on the camera and on the cinema. So it was very interesting to us to have the experience where they were like, we want you to feel around. I'm like, there's nothing in here. I already cleared it. And if you see me in a space, there's nothing there. By the time I get there, it's already gone. They have run out screaming, knowing before I got there.
That's real. It's like
You know.
raid.
Yeah.
So I want to tap in a little more to the processes of clearing. Years ago, in the property clearings, there was a great understanding that unfolded. And it's funny because how when you do a thing, but you don't really fully understand the thing that you're doing, but you're just doing it, and the understanding unfolds as you're in the process.
I'd like to just comment on that.
Yeah.
And this is what many people do, they have the practice or the articulation of the words they say and the actions they take. That works.
Yeah.
Through which ritual. That
Yes,
works.
yes.
You don't have to understand. It does work, but understanding is to be desired.
It sure is. And so as the understanding is unfolding, it became more and more clear to me that, oh my gosh, I'm doing all of this in the mental realm.
Right.
It's so deep in terms of what's happening in the processes. It's all happening internally.
Yes, because you are the external world.
I hope it is
Once
so-
you, and that's really hard for people
Yeah.
at different and varying levels of suffering to realize it's all inside, being reflected back out to you. But once you have that understanding, then you begin to be able to affect, quite significantly what is happening outside of you. But it also depends on the vehicle. Is the vehicle clean? Is the vehicle free of disease? Is the vehicle um, being supported appropriately with nutrition and with hygiene? That all matters because the brain is physical
Yeah.
and the inspiration is spiritual. And the two work together to change. The word magic actually means that you can change things. And that's all it actually means. You have the ability to change one thing from another. That happens when appropriate power is used to keep the physical vehicle happy enough and clean enough and prepared enough to execute its own divine imprint along with your inspiration. And then if you can free yourselves of all of the addictions we all have had, then you have the will to do it however long it needs to take to do it. That might take you a year. It might take you a year to get rid of your parasites. But that determination means that now it's your will, not the millions of pieces of parasites that were. It's their will to eat a piece of chocolate cake.
I hear your voice. Get up. Go to the Walmart. Get that ice cream or whatever it is, or bake me a pie, or whatever the thing is. And so it's so real to have sovereignty over your mind, your body.
But it seems foreign to us, but the reality is, it is all on the mental plane.
Yeah.
But it requires dedication. It requires the truth, knowing who you are, knowing what your blueprint is, knowing what you're capable of, and dismissing all the things all of us heard all of our lives from all of our relatives and our ancestors about how little we were and how much we couldn't do anything. And all of the things we've accepted about whatever gender we are and whatever station in life or whatever cultural background we come from, and all that we have accepted, that we are also prejudiced against ourselves. We have bias against ourselves.
You're like, you can't do that. Like, what? Yes, I can. No, you can't. You're like, you're right. And then it starts flooding in a bunch of reasons why you can't, and like.
Remember when Mama said you couldn't do that? Remember they said you weren't smart enough, you weren't cute enough, you weren't this and that. Yeah. All of those things. All of us. This is the condition of the third dimensional human. Nobody is free of it. There's no one on the planet who's free of limitation. But our blueprint demands that we free ourselves of it, and that's the challenge. Your purpose is to get better.
Yes.
People are always saying, I'm doing the best I can. No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you all, if you all are ever around LaOta, I encourage you to refrain from saying, but I'm doing the best I can. You got a whole nother thing coming for you. I'm just letting you know, because I've heard, but even when I've heard you say this multiple times, and of course I'm like, oh no, they didn't, but also that's the truth.
It is,
because I have had so many moments in my life knowing that I could be doing more, knowing that there could be more effort, but we just be mediocre sometimes, or not putting forth more effort than what could be done. And I think it's varying levels and degrees, like the condition we're in, the addictions that we have, the limitations. They don't even, all those things plus don't allow us to do the best.
I'm speaking from the voice of the mother who loves the child. I know you can make up your bed. I know you can brush your teeth. I know that you're smart. I see the glory in who you are. Get up. Don't tell me your room, that's the best you can do. No, I'm speaking from the voice of the one who loves you. Mm-hmm. I love humans. I love humanity. I cannot agree that you are doing the best you can, humanity. No.
You see? It's loving, though. It's love and energy. It's very
because
different.
I see the glory of who you are.
And that's that type of response. It's like, damn, she's right. I start giving you some backbone and want to do better. Like, maybe I should start making my bed and throw away that piece of box. Take out the trash.
Come out of the basement.
Right?
It's mold down there that I made with my thoughts and whatever I was smoking.
Glaucoma. Let me sleep at night.
don't know if it's hitting, if people are able to experience what we.
Let us know if it's hitting, because we over here having a jolly old time, and we're on our comedic run right now because we're doing callbacks now. Earlier, making fun of jokes, and but this is the truth, though. This is the condition of humanity. But also going back to what you're saying, the energy in which you're addressing what you see
Yes.
when we um, operate really with excuses and limitation, like, oh, this is all I can do, and but
That is the person who agrees that you're doing the best you can is the enemy of your growth.
ooh, that's a quote.
That's your enemy. That one will keep you small, will keep you in your limitation, who will invite other limitation in. Like, can I be limited to that? Oh, yeah, you can be limited to that too. Like it is shall we all be the mother, even, or the father, in seeing the greatness in each other? And shall we not accept less than that? That would be a disservice to humanity. And that could be your purpose for being here, to let people know you are more, you are greater. There's more available. If you'll do more, there's more to get. All of that. I think it's not an insult to say, learn to tell the truth. Learn to have integrity. Be grateful to the people who feed you and took care of you, where you can still breathe another day. Because in every breath, you have that opportunity to be who you were meant to be. And that, no, you do not get what are those awards people give for showing up?
Participation awards.
You don't get I
sit
came
back
to
in my
Earth
chair.
participation award.
No. Not in the
Because
school
you
of hard
didn't,
knocks.
as much as you may have decided that you were going to be born, it doesn't really warrant an award.
That's so funny. I'm having this glimpse in my mind play out of like the soul leaves, and it's like, you run back the replay of everything, and you see your missed opportunities, and you're like, yo, but I went though. But I incarnated. What about no? Go back. But it's more like self. It's like, damn, like, and I think that's the greater truth. But I wanna bring it back a little bit earlier to this connection with the field, and then segue into the one mind and how everything is mental. So we were talking about how the work that we do, we are connecting and seeing that we are not separate from what we are
Right.
interfacing with, be it a property or a soul. And one of the things I wanted to bring forth for the listeners, something practical that they can engage in that's already available on our website, part of our energy clearing practices, is calling forth aid and support from all that is, and how you enhance your awareness of your connection to the greater
Yes.
unified field. And the idea of we exist within a toroidal field, a field within fields, and there's likely images that people have seen of the human bodies and their energy fields overlapping, and how information is constantly exchanged, and how when you're engaged in that space and you do a practice like Ho'oponopono or highest possible vibration, these type of understandings that you're not separate help us understand that if I adjust me, I can adjust the field, and I'm not separate from the outside.
Right.
Even if, whether we're in the same space and a distance apart, or we're talking on the phone with someone in another state,
Yeah.
I can still have an effect on them. Would you speak on that?
Well, the last part, I just prompted a thought. It's like, where do you think the idea of long distance phone calls came from?
It came from us, from the cell.
Yes.
Yearler.
Yes.
Cells be communicating.
Yes.
We be communicating.
Yes.
Through ourselves to each other. Come on now.
Where'd the hard drive come from?
Came from us.
Yes. I mean, like, these are
storage, DNA.
These are varying steps of, or increments of, how this can be expressed. In the same way that, how many minds are there? This is a quiz. How many minds are there in the universe? Tarvars, you have your hand up? How many minds are there in the universe?
One.
Yay!
Where's my star?
So there is universe, one verse. There's one verse of poetry. the universe. There's one song, there's one mind, and we see it mostly in nature that has not been in detriment. And all of the earth plane has been in detriment. So earth is not showing us what it once did show, but we can see the glory of it even in its suppression. So
Yes.
there's one mind, which is represented by nature as an example of what can be seen from the mind of creator, the way in which things should go. And then we are varying levels of matriculating processes of getting back to one mind
Yes.
because we have been tampered with. Our DNA has been severed. It hasn't been stolen though. It's been disconnected. So the hard wires can still be restored. So we can know again the clarity and the beauty of when man first arrived on this planet because we were all seated here. We can know our connectiveness to the leaves and the trees and the big redwoods and the oceans and the air. That is the plan. That is your purpose. That is why, that is the purpose of Earth itself at this time, to reintegrate. Instead of us being the parasites on the back of the mother, we become the supporting factor that enhances everyone's experience by being cooperative with the one verse, the one mind, the one thing. So it is our blueprint and birthright to be able to speak to Mozambique. I can clear a house in Africa. I just need the coordinates. I just need to know where to land. You know, show me on the map. And so we used to have an app where we would look at everything on map, the geo,
Yeah, the
or
Google
Google
Map
Earth.
and
And
Google Earth and
once we could see it, that's all we need is to be able to identify and name whatever it is. So the same applies to us. Once we know that we want to know about pineapple, all we have to do is know that pineapple exists and then connect to that in what I'll call a very relaxed state or chill situation, and connect to that to see the deep yellow color. You all are experiencing it now. I can feel the ones on the line looking at the deep yellow color, the beautiful green at the top. Some of you are already tasting it and the exquisite taste of a pineapple in your mouth as you chew it. Oh my goodness, people are chewing pineapple on the line. This is no different. That sensual, spiritual, intellectual, and mental experience is no different than all of the things we do. When you move into talking to a squirrel, when you move into understanding and talking to the pineapple, we can ask the pineapple, are you good for humanity? Are you good for my body? Is this what I should be eating? Is this right for me? Is this something that I have an allergy to? Is this something I should stay away from? And it will indicate to you if you're quiet enough. The idea is you can't have all your alarms beeping and all the ads coming in. The whole idea of the computers and the phones is a distraction. We need the 30 or 40 minutes in quiet to be able to get to what did the ant say? What is the thought that came into my mind? What is the aspect? So one mind is more of this. So it is not different than this. So there's not any magical things I'm going to bring forth, but I'm going to give you methods and opportunities to be guided through how you may then spend time guiding yourself through things. These are not things that will necessarily become immediately available to you because we have not been organized that way.
yeah.
But for some, it will be.
I want to speak a little bit about the aspects of ourselves that work against this, because as you were speaking earlier, I'm seeing like the beauty of it, and just as a side note, the pineapple thing, that was cool. I'm going through it, and my mouth and the taste buds and everything just starts lighting up energetically.
I saw
And it
people's
was just,
saliva loose.
yes,
I saw it.
I was one of them. I'm sure you all too. But that speaks to the power of the mind
Yes, I
and
mean,
what's happening. There is no is it's like there is no spoon, right? On the Matrix, like, is there a pineapple or not, or is
yeah.
there?
But or did you just ingest the essence and the blueprint of the pineapple in just thinking about it? Have you been nourished by pineapple, Tavares?
Yes, let me tell you, I'm having very transcendental experiences. As you know, obviously, I've been on liquids primarily, and then when I cook, I'm having an experience of eating through the smell. And but like hearing this that next level.
Yes.
Like, you know what? I'm hungry. Let me just just kind of move and experiment. But that's the truth of who we are, and
Yes.
that's a higher dimensional understanding
And
that
you
is within reach.
and you don't have to go to the bathroom.
That part, because the way my bladder on this juice, my roommate, I'm like, man, I wonder how many times she heard me go to the bathroom. I was like, I go to the bathroom a lot. But yes, yes.
But it lets us know that that is not where we are right now, but that is the path that we should be aware could be
Yes,
available.
and that's what I meant earlier about opening and expanding ourselves to what's possible
Yes.
and removing the limitations and, oh, it's just in a movie, and no, they making movies and technology about you, trying to copy you,
We are
and
the
you're the best
blueprint.
thing out here.
We are the blueprint for all the technology that people are worshiping as God. We are the AI that people are worshiping as God.
Yeah. All right, so we got a dancing lady. She gave us a little bop bop. It's like, so how about we go to commercial break, and
Yes.
then I can ask that question,
Alrighty.
because I think it's important to also have awareness how, in what ways are we working against ourselves so we can collapse it.
Yes.
Very effective. And then we'll go to the comments here afterwards because we got a couple of things going on in the chat. So just a moment, you all. We're going to play our commercial from our sponsor, Aluka. And this will be about 40 seconds. Hold tight with us, and we will be right back.
If you're a conscious investor looking to make a difference, you need to hear about Aluka Gold. Because doing good and doing well isn't just a dream, it's our promise. Let's face it, everyone wants their money to work harder. But what if your gold investment could do double duty? Aluka Gold is more than just precious metal. We're committed to ethical sourcing and total transparency so you know exactly where your gold comes from, and who it helps. Every ounce you invest helps support real miners and their communities with humanitarian projects and fair wages. That's not just good business, it's good for the world. You get solid, physical gold, plus the pride of knowing your investment brings hope and opportunity to families who need it most. So why settle for ordinary returns when you can spark extraordinary change? Invest with purpose. Invest with Aluka Gold. Do good, do well, and let your gold investment shine brighter than ever.
All right. Shout out to our sponsor, Aluka Go in Dubai. Alex Chinaborg, Honor, Respect, and Gratitude, CEO. And we have Russ, who's always on the line and over there tuning in the ER. It's like, look, that's from Piedmont ER. Executive Director for Aluka Inc. Visit Aluka Inc. for wealth investments and assets protection, assets management. These are literally of the Sunners, people who are striving to keep themselves clear and clean and make some moves for position ourselves within this transition. So we have the site on the page. You can see it there, alukainc.com. So I'll ask that question and then we'll go to the chat. And so again, for people who are joining us, we were talking about One Mind, upcoming class. We didn't talk too much about DNA, but it's intertwined because to do these things,
Yes.
the DNA, the activation and the replication of your DNA does work in tandem with
Yes.
how receptive and how open we are to these other aspects, dormant aspects of ourselves. But we're talking about communicating with all forms of life, spaces, places, and telepathy. And so we'll get to the chat in a moment. The question I wanted to ask you is, uh, I see that there are aspects of ourselves that work against oneness. You were speaking earlier about the one mind and the universe and how we see that template in nature and things are working in tandem. But we got programs, we got trauma, and these patterns are looping of uh, let's talk about like lone wolf. You got people who out here who think they can do it by themselves. We got people who feel an aversion to working with a group because of their trauma from working with groups before, and they were working with the wrong people who weren't harmonized, and now they're all jacked up. And how that's counterproductive to the idea of oneness. And I also see where there are uh, with the untrained ego, there is this apprehensiveness to join on to something that's larger because of the fear of losing oneself. Like you're going to lose your identity. So that's straight up ego. Like, no, I don't want to.
Right.
Would you speak to these ideas and how we can address these? Because I can see how that would stop us from moving into higher levels of attainment.
And right now, the third dimension is, as we can see by the leadership all over the world and the controversies concerning whether the leaders are married to what they say they're married to, or whether they're, representing themselves, or they're misrepresenting themselves, whether they're warmongers, or whether they're uh, part of a secret elite, Fourth Reich that's rising, which is, very much in
It's
the.
what it
And
is.
so the world shows us the world, and the lack of the divine masculine tenets of integrity, discipline, and action. Almost every person, male or female, been has experienced lack of integrity in relationships. We've experienced people with unfeathered addictions to all things that lead them everywhere, whether it's alcohol, pornography, whatever it is. Whatever it is that the addiction is, stealing, lying, you know, sexual promiscuity, all whatever it happens to be, that is the lack of discipline, the lack of putting your physicality in order. And then how many people have those in their lives who you can't get them to unscrew a light bulb or open the door if you're standing there with bags? Like,
Yeah.
it's like who is who is taking action to help an elderly person with their groceries? Who's taking, what? How does that look to us? It is a rare sight where it shouldn't be. So we're all inundated by the detriment of the current system that is run by the masculine in detriment. The divine feminine is damaged by the result of all of these things and part of it, because they're two aspects of the same polarity. So we're all in varying levels of that, but beneath it, we can see that we are more. We can. We can see the people that we fell in love with who turned out not to ever do another action again or discipline themselves after that fact. We saw the beauty in who they were. We've given birth to our children. We've seen the glory of what they could be in its infancy. We should not lose sight that we are greater than we appear to be. We're greater than the world that we have made. We're not doing the best we can. That we are more. And that should inspire us. That should inspire us to know that every interaction, if I put into the person the greatest thing that I see in them, that most certainly, like the computer, you put it in, you'll get it out. You put in bad information, you get out bad information. Put in good information, you get out good information. So I'm not sure if I'm answering that, but
I'm gonna just say this. These are words of wisdom. If it's landing for you, type wisdom in the chat. If it's really hitting, because it's it's the divine feminine. You answered in a circular way,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm receiving what you're giving. So let's go to the chat and see what's going on with our people in here. There's been a lot of activity before we wrap up, and so let's see here. So again,
I want to remind people that, you know, when we are disgruntled and we have a harsh thought about someone, that we should apply it directly to ourselves first.
Ah, message. Message. That's for everybody out there trying to change somebody. So I
Yes.
just recorded the video the other day
I see this
because
turned you on.
this turned me all the way the hell on because it's so real, and I've seen it. I see it in people around me. I see it in my family, and I see it in myself. And when I saw it, I was like, no! And I went to go take care of it right away. And then after I took care of it, I made a little video talking about it and how it is just so out of order. And what I saw at the deepest level, the thing that you're trying to make the person do is the thing you need to be doing for yourself.
And so all of us have been a victim of parents, teachers, lovers, husbands, children who did exactly that.
Yeah.
All of us are the victim of that. And some of us were so deeply programmed by it that we have decided to be that for their opinion.
Yeah.
We have decided, like, I'm going to be limited because I was seen as limited, and somebody said I was limited when I was 2, so, and then they said it again when I was 6, and then the 8, and then my husband proved it, so limited it is.
Right. What's your name? Limited Johnson. Limited Daniels.
Right. Right.
We got a couple of people dropping wisdom, 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 wisdom. Hold on, let's go back up again because there's a couple of side comments from earlier. And by the way, there's a couple of other people joining. We see K's in the building.
Yay.
And Lakesh. It's funny. Anytime I try to scroll up to see the comments, the new comments, refresh the chat. But Stephanie says, when someone provides you the truth, that is true love. She put that in all caps. Stacy, the enemy of our growth. Erica, wow, it came from us. Universe, one song, one mind. Julia says, hold on, this chat is jumping. Chat is jumping. I gotta be mindful when I request for you all to say something in the chat next time. But don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Have fun. Julianne says, yes, love this truth. It's medicine for DNA upgrades into one truth. Stacy says, Virgin Pina Colada. Thank you.
We might have some virgin wine if we go all in September. Go pick some grapes.
Yeah, for real. Muscadine.
Well, grape
Muscadine.
season is
Yes,
coming up in
time.
September, and Tarvars has got us started by drinking grape juice today. Fresh muscadine grape. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone, but I got another bottle already juiced and poured.
And where is it?
You see that? Plotting on my muscadine juice. It's in the house.
I want to turn it on into a fermented product.
Okay. All right. All right.
Like Jesus.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing there. Christ consciousness. Care Builder says, blessings, y'all. I always love tapping into what y'all bring. A flood of elemental emojis, butterflies, transformation, all that.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the butterflies and the dragonflies. We're going to talk about them because they are of the sun for real, for real.
Yeah. Easy to be me, 63. That rhymes. Look what you did there. Says, in Lakesh and Veritas, Lionsgate portal greetings of oneness, abundance, power, and sovereignty. Highest timeline and benefit to all. Align and be one. Yo, that Lionsgate, so we're not that big into astrology, but there's something over that 8-8, that Lionsgate.
That's infinity, infinity, infinity. And what that means is not what people think. It means you can constantly change. You'll constantly start over. You'll constantly be doing things over again, going higher, and there's never an end to it because there's no end to our obtainment. There is no end to who you can be. The limit is not ascended master. The limit is not Christ consciousness. It goes on.
Yes. I feel like there's a song for that. And on, and on, and on. All right, so there's a lot of people saying wisdom, dropping wisdom, gems of wisdom. Somebody's asking, who is this? Brenda says, good morning. Was wondering if you have heard of the Book of Wisdom. If so, what are your thoughts on it? Thank you. I haven't heard of it. Have you? No. But the Book of Wisdom lies within. We just have to bring it out, open it up. No, but again, we're gonna continue going through. Sadell says, "May I place an order, please?" I think she's talking about the fermented wine from muscadines.
I got to place my order as well. I have to go pick those grapes, but we're
Yeah.
thinking of encouraging you all to have a nationwide, find an orchard that has some muscadine grapes. Maybe we'll all do it and bring our bowls of grapes to the live stream and talk about recipes for what we'd like to do.
Yeah, we're getting into the season for it,
It,
so it's a thing.
grapes were traditionally used to clean people out at the end of the season. The idea of fruit is cleaning, where the idea of vegetables is building. So at the end of the summer, it's a good idea to clean with the grapes and get rid of the mucus, get rid of the clogged colon, get rid of the things that are congesting the cells and the joints and the different aspects of the body. And they're only around for a few weeks. So you can get them, you can have fun with them, you can make popsicles for the grandchildren, you can do things for everybody. You can make ice cubes for later.
That's the one mind. When you said ice, you must have ice cubes.
You can make
But you
ice
said ice
cubes to
cubes.
put in your kombucha. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we would thought that might be because Tarvars, I've been out of town and Tarvars was drinking freshly pressed muscadine grape juice today. I'm like, oh, it's not September. Where'd you get those?
Yeah, apparently there's pockets of farmers who have
Early
a
ones.
little early harvest, so
So we were just,
it's
it
pleasant.
really wasn't a planned conversation, but I thought it might be a nice national pastime for us that we could all, in the early weeks of September, get our grapes clean up for the winter.
I think this is cool because there's a lot of people who join us who are intrigued with health and food, and you have an extensive history dealing with food and healing through food, and I think that'd be a great way to engage people.
I was away over the weekend, and I was in a situation where there were a lot of people, and they all were having lunch, and I had my pink grapefruit. I was peeling my pink grapefruit, and I had my dates. I had 2 dates in my pink grapefruit, and people were lusting after my grapefruit.
Licking lips like, where'd you
They
get
had
that?
their ham sandwiches, and they had their breakfast burritos, and I was like, and I could feel like people looking at my
You did the prisoner thing, like, hey.
It's like it only has so many sections, but I
Right.
offer some. So, you are encouraged to know that we're near the end of the summer, and that might be something you'd be interested in. We most certainly are going to find an orchard, so I can.
I've already found one. It's
Yes.
close, Marietta. They have it. It was
So-
just the weather conditions during the farming season. But now it's a little sunnier, drier. And
Yeah,
you
we
go
love the rain.
picking.
We love the
Ain't
rain.
no wrong with rain, but it's muddy. Shut down,
I got some rubber boots,
Oh, shit. Never mind.
so we can do it.
I see you are determined to get those muscadines by any means.
Well, it only happens once a year, and it could be a really good clean out for all of us.
I agree.
So we hope that you would like that. Is there anything else you'd
Yeah,
like to talk?
again, for anyone who wants to join the One Mind class, DNA activation, it's on the Of the Sun website, www.ofthesun.com. It's pretty straight to the point, but we'll put this up on the screen. Also, if you have interest in donating to the Cash App, if you like what we're doing and you want to be of support, send something to #OfTheSunUniverse. You can also donate to our scholarship that we contribute to students who want to take classes who may not financially be in the space to purchase a full class, but they're pacing, they're resonating. And if you want to gift something to someone, you can visit the Epison website. Just type in the search bar scholarship or donation, and you'll see there's a link for it. Increments of, I think, like 5, 10, 25, 50, 100. Gratitude is the currency, whatever you're feeling like giving. We're open to receive it. And then, of course, DNA activation will be next week as well. That's on Wednesday. For anyone who has taken DNA activation reconnection / the class, you can come back for a healing audit. We know a lot of you love that. So that very first day, just purchase the amount for the first day, That'll get you into the audit. But if you want to take the other two, the day 2 and 3, feel free as well. And stay tuned. Also, subscribe to our newsletter. We're about to send one out later today with an update with different events and classes, and it'll keep you in the loop. Like, for example, Sun and Sea Coffee is about to pop back up on the scene. We know a lot of you are like, "Where's the Sun and Sea? LaOta, I need."
I need my seaweed.
Yeah, yeah. It's a seaweed-based coffee, and the chemical composition completely changes how it interfaces with your biology, and people love it. And we've shifted our production, and we're about to launch it again. So stay tuned, and we'll send an e-blast for that too. So you can go to the Other Sun website and subscribe to our newsletter as well for updates. And that's pretty much all I got.
Well, thank you all for joining us. We look forward to what we will be doing in the future. Thank you. With honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. Remember, we are both divine feminine and divine masculine. In Lakesh Veritas.
Lakesh Veritas. And on